waiting. One that will turn your skin. The lovers light. Let them have their time. And I have this notion. Let's keep these wheels in motion. In motion. And it's working for nothing I know. Do you think I'm letting it go? Oh no. And in time, yes, I think it's absurd. But until then, you'll need no words. But lay on. Now it's time to defend your lies. The lies you've been feeding me all this time. And when you return, oh darling, you say that you are a son, but your ways they seem 11, but still they are. Now it's time to defend your lies. The lies you've been feeding me all this time. And when you return, oh darling, I wish you understand. I'm worried. Will we pretend like we something to fight for? Oh. We had nothing to fight for. We had nothing to fight for. We had nothing to fight for. We had nothing to fight for.
man's Urban Pirate here, Black Flag Racing TV. It's Monday night and it's time for Gauntlet. And this is an awesome little competition. Started last week, and essentially nobody knows what the race is, what the cars are, or anything. In a couple of minutes, I will literally randomise it live. And then I'll set the room, and then 20 minutes racing with those settings in those cars on that track. No time to practice. The way it's going to work is the first, it'll be hot lap qualifying, followed by 20 minutes endurance race with whatever settings are churned out. So I think, without further ado, actually let's have a quick look at how we turned out last week. So that's where we stand. After 3 races last week, Wiggy with a really good performance. 70 points so far from the first 3 races. Good performance from Bounty. Picked up his first, what's it called? Podium. That's the word I'm looking for. First podium. Aussie as well, picking up a podium. And yeah, some good racing all round from everybody last time out. Can Avalon close that gap on Wiggy? Can Ghost get involved in there? Really close between that top 4 at the moment. Equal on points as well. Ghost and VR46. They're in a joint 3rd position. Right, so I think we just crack on and get this rolled, shall we? I can't see any other thing we should do. So, here we go. You ready? And that's what we've got. It is GR4 Willow Springs International Streets of Willow Springs in reverse. Tyre wear 7, fuel rate 7. So let's get these settings put in. Edit event settings. So we are looking for Willow Springs, and it is the Streets of Willow Springs, but in reverse. The stats, and then we've got preset weather will be cloudy. If I can find it, cloudy 01. There we go. In the afternoon. The afternoon's already done. That's done. Everything's right there. Time limit for qualifier 3 minutes. Filtered by category. That's in the GR4s. And I think everything else is correctamundo. Okay, let's get them all to ready up. Really looking forward to this. I love this event. It's one of my favourites. Oh, quality in 1 min. Yeah, so yeah, this is a really interesting track. I don't suppose many people know this track all that well. So yeah, it'd be good to see what cars people go for. I think the Alpha is going to be a quite popular choice here. Yeah, already G-Mac and Old Man J both going for that 155. Fubar going for the Audi TT. Rob going for the 155. M4 for Wiggy. That's an interesting choice. Avalon with a 458, I tell you, what a surprise. Suzuki Swift for TJ. And he's gone for the Tommy Tippy one as well. Look at that. What else we got coming in? What's Stormfly going for? He's gone for the WRX. That's not a bad choice. And Sylvia S15 for Slipstream. Really cool. Right, so everyone is ticked in and ready to go. Let's have this. Let's go. Boom Shanker. So all of them. I'm not giving them a chance to practice because that would kind of defeat the object. Right, so I'll tell you why I'm missing. And I've got. Oh, I thought I was missing the game sounds, but they have returned. Right, so let's have a look and see what everyone's doing. Let's get all the data up, shall we? All info. Right, so 1 hot lap quality to get the car around there then we're literally going to absolutely smash it around. Now, I don't suppose many people have driven this track much. It's not a track that's used very often. And I think that's one of the beauties of this competition is that genuinely I have no control over the settings other than to tell it choose one of these things. But every single track in every single connotation is on the list. I actually do have a separate randomizer with specific cars. I can also add things like grid positions and stuff like that, but I haven't. I've chosen to just keep it to car classes because obviously doing with specific cars kind of requires everybody to have every car. But we might include one or two specific cars later on in the tournament. We get to around 5, round 6. We might whack in one or two specific cars, and you know, if this becomes a permanent fixture, which it very well may be. It won't necessarily be on a Monday night. Monday night we'll be back to GR4 in a few weeks' time. But it may be something we do on a Thursday or a Sunday. We'll see. But so far it's proved to be quite a popular format. So we'll see how we get on with this. But hot lap quali it is. So they've literally got to get round and get cracking with the qualifying. So here we go. And Avalon Cello goes straight on when he should have been going around the corner. So that's not a great start for him. Slipstream picks up the mantle into the lead. I'd love to talk you around this track, but I genuinely don't know this track well enough to talk you around it. All I can tell you is this is a left-hander. I think I've driven this probably a total of 3 times. Done exactly what is required by the menu books, and that is it. And I don't suppose many other people have either. So it'd be interesting to see how everyone fares in this. But yeah, no, really, really cool idea. Loving this. This, to be fair, this track is hard. They call it the streets of Willow Springs. There is literally no houses. It's not really a street circuit, is it? But I kind of see where they were going with it. But it looks like Slipstream's going to be the first to put a lap on the board. He will cross the line, and he will initially be pole, of course. And there he goes. That is his time. That's a 1:49. That's the fastest lap so far. Next up is GMAC. He's in the Alpha 155, sporting our team. That's his team livery. Beautiful livery there is, to be fair. And GMAC with a 1:17.4, 1:29.1 for Avalon, 15.7 for Stormfly. TJ with a 1:17.4. So that puts him in firmly in 4th place. So Stormfly hits that front row with Slipstream, GMAC and TJ on row 2. Phil with a 1:20.4. That's row 5. Old Man J 1:28.3 for row 5, row 3. Fubar jumps into row 3 above. So Phil above Phil, and that's a 1:19.2 for him in the Audi TT. Clear to go. That's Rob. That's a good time actually. A 1:25.1 for him in the Alpha. He's ahead of Old Man J. Avalon with a 1:29.1, and Wiggy looks like he had enough because that's a 1:46.5. So yeah, this will be an interesting race because the current championship leader, Wiggy, of course, is in last position, whereas Slipstream, who's new to the competition, is out in pole. Now remember, the first race is hot lap qualifying. To be fair, they managed to get 2 hot laps in, and then it is reverse grid from there on in. And that's where it gets interesting because the thing here as well, we've got some of the quicker guys. Willard there jumping into 7th place or 8th place as Avalon improves his time. That's a good improvement from Avalon actually. I've obviously left too much time on the table for them. So there we go. 1 20-minute race to start. Let's make sure they get their tyres sorted. Do you know what I haven't done? I didn't set the tyres and fuel properly. My bad, but we'll go anyway. My bad, sorry guys. I knew there was something I forgot, but I'm not going to change it now because everyone's qualified. So there we go, it is what it is. Right, if everyone's ready to go, we will just get cracking. So I forgot to do tyres and fuel, that's totally my fault. So it's going to be a slightly easier race than originally planned. But yeah, still going to be good all the same. So everyone ticked in, everyone ready to go. And this should be a cracking little race. Now, I imagine we're going to see a few people in and amongst that dusty surface. So here we go. Slipstream will lead them out. We will see the lights go on. It will be 5 lights and then we'll get cracking. So light 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4 lights, there's 5 lights. They will go out and we will be racing. And Slipstream and Stall fly away. That's a good start from an Alpha. Nipping up through the middle. And who's that in that pink and white Alpha? Well, they've whoever it was, they've gone round the outside. That's a good move from Phil, actually. He has held it quite well. Staying out of trouble, taking that round the outside. Fubar spins just cleared there by Wiggy. That's unfortunate. Getting that Audi back onto the track though, but in last place, 1.1 seconds behind Rob. So Stormfly out in the lead. He's got the jump onto Slipstream in that WRX as they head round to this big sweeping left-hander for the first time. It's a 20-minute race here. No, that's fine. And Andrew, not a problem, buddy. You know, it's not often that you tick in and don't show up. It's a very, very rare occurrence. Hope she wins. But yeah, no, we'll see you next week, man. See you next week. At the moment, Stormfly, GMAC and Slipstream all going at it, hammer and tong. And there's 4 different cars, 5 different cars in the top 5. Now, I thought it was going to be a bit of an Alpha 155 fest, but we've got WRX in with Stormfly in the lead. Slipstream goes through. GMAC goes through as well. GMAC is in the Alpha 155, and he now takes the lead of this race from Stormfly. So Stormfly in the WRX is second. Avalon in that 458 Italia in third place. That car looks well out of place in the desert. TJ up into fourth in that Tommy Tippy cup of a car. That's Suzuki Swift with the little Tykes logo all over it. Love that car. Remember that in the first season of the GR4 lottery, of course. Old Man Jay, he's in 5th place. Was that another Alpha off the track? I think it was, because GMAC is tanking down that order. But Old Man Jay up to 4th now. Phil has worked his way in the Alpha up to 5th. So the Alpha's starting to take a bit of dominance here in this race. There's Wiggy up to 6th place in the BMW M4. He's got GMAC all over the back of him. GMAC having a few little issues. There's Willard there. He's gone for that's the Viper. That's an interesting choice round this track. But it is quite an agile car, to be fair. So not necessarily an awful choice. There's Fubar. He's in the Audi TT. There's a yellow flag. Who has crashed? Someone has crashed. We'll soon see when they come tanking down that order. Rob in 10th place. And Slipstream has fired all the way to the back of the pack. So clearly it was less Slipstream and more slippy, slidey off the tracky into dirt stream. Less Slipstream, more Soda Stream. Bubbles. But yeah, he's 6.7 seconds back with a 1 second penalty. Some work for AJ to do then. Stormfly out in the lead in the WRX. He's pulled out 3.2 seconds over TJ, who inexplicably got that Suzuki Swift absolutely swinging around here. And maybe we finally found a use for that little tyre, because he goes a little bit squirrely, and that lets Phil dive up on through into 2nd place. Love it. This is the beauty of this competition. No one has a chance to practice. You learn the track as you go, and if you know it a little bit better than someone else, all for you. That's a great move by Wiggy. Can he make it stick up into 3rd? He can't, and that BM being held off by the little type. Little tap on TJ. He's on to the just say grass. There's no grass there. He's onto the dust. And he drops down, and look at this, he's properly battling in there. Wiggy in 3rd, TJ in 4th, Avalon in the 458, he's in 5th place, tucked right in behind that little Tykes. Little tap on him again. They're absolutely abusing that little Tykes car. Fubar slipping through up into 4th place. Look at Willard running up there in 6th. He's ahead of GMAC. TJ regains the track back in 8th. He's being absolutely abused out there today. It's not like it's almost like they can't see that yellow and red strikingly bright little smiley car. And maybe it's a smile. Maybe it's a smile on the front of the car. It's just annoying people into wanting to abuse it. There's Jay serving a significant penalty. He's down in 9th, 3.2 seconds behind TJ. He's got Rob just about 10 seconds back. The Slipstream finally closing that gap. He served that penalty. He's got within 1.5 seconds. That is lap number 4. Slipstream with the fastest lap, 1:14.5. There's 15 minutes of this race. That's the time to get it done. But can he get it done as he moves up into 10th place? Next target for him, he's absolutely getting smashed up. So 5 seconds up the road to old man Jay. At the moment, TJ is no longer being beaten up across this track. To be fair, poor fellow. To be fair, he picked a car that kind of warrants getting absolutely smacked about. It's one of those things, I suppose. But yeah, so we move on. Stallfly still in the lead, but that's been cut down to just 1.4 seconds. Phil coming in that Alpha 155, starting to close on the other four-wheel drive, that WRX. A couple of four-wheel drives dominating here at the moment. And then we've got that BMW M4 rear-wheel drive, rear-engined, front-engine, sorry, BMW, which is currently 1.6 seconds behind Phil. And he's got 1.2 behind him. He's got Fubar, and he is in the Audi TT. So again, 5 different cars in that top 5. 4 different cars in the top 5. G-Max worked his way back into that top 5, running in 5th with the 458 Italia of Avalon Shadow, just 1 second behind him. And we're starting to see these times start to tumble as they get used to the track, they get the track knowledge and start to understand it. And just as the muscle memory kicks in, the race is going to finish and we move on to another race. But so far, awesome racing. 2.2 seconds the gap to Willard, who's fighting really well in there in that Viper. He is at the moment 2.7 clear of TJ, who got absolutely bummed into oblivion and running in 8th place. 4 seconds back is old man Jay. Slipstream has cut that gap down to just 2 seconds. He is on a charge. Fastest lap for him is a 1:14.5. Conversely, there's 1:20.1. He's 6 seconds off the pace. All those weird people just randomly walking through the desert. It's very odd for this track. Very odd. There is Stormfly. That lead cut right down to 2/10 as Phil closes in the Alpha 155. His fastest lap, and a little bit squirrely there. That's a lot of desert. So that gap opens right out, 1.8 seconds, and Wiggy comes through in that BMW, and that is a little bit of a reprieve for Stormfly because the 155 of Phil was really starting to trouble the back of that WRX. In terms of fuel and tyres, I think they're going to have to refuel, but tyres they should be alright because I forgot to change them. Should have been times 7, but my bad. I didn't change them and I should have done. So Fubar in 4th place. He's under pressure from G-Mac. G-Mac trying to find a way with that 155 to squeeze through. But Fubar just putting the Audi TT in all the right places and not letting G-Mac find his way. Avalon Shadow 2.7 seconds back from G-Mac. Now pit window time. I imagine for some of them it's going to be in a lap or two. Well, for G-Mac, it's probably going to be this lap because he loves that, burning that fuel. Avalon is going to hold on for a little while in that 458 Italia. Might even go very deep into race. Now, he's opted to start on medium compounds, which actually proved to be unnecessary because I forgot to do the tyres. So, my bad on that. I'm really sorry, folks. But, to be fair, no one fucking pulled me up on it, so it is what it is. Willard G-Star. He's in the Dodge Viper. He's trying to put some pressure on that 458. Just a second back from Avalon at the moment and trying to close down. But everybody's going to have to pit at some stage for fuel. So anyone that's on rubbish tyres can put good ones on then. There's TJ running in 8th position. He is 5 seconds back, 6 seconds back now from Avalon. And Slipstream, who's got past old man Jay, is now 1.1 seconds. TJ makes the move past Avalon. Avalon having some problems. Slipstream through as well. So clearly Avalon off the track there and are not getting the required grip out of those medium compound tyres. And he's got some damage on the front, which means he hit something very hard. So Avalon in 9th place, Slipstream up to 8th. Just 3/10 now behind TJ, who is in 7th place, desperately trying to fight this battle here to move up the order. He was challenging for the top 3 at one stage and just got absolutely battered all over the place. So everyone coming around, no one into the pits as yet, but you know, halfway mark, I imagine we'll see some people jumping into the pits at some stage. Wiggy now leads the way. He is 6/10 clear of Fubar. Fubar holding on there in that TT. And just starting to show a good bit of pace in there in the Audi. So German cars dominating. German car in first, of course, BMW, then the German Audi in second. Then there's GMAC in the Italian Alfa 155, which to me is one of the most beautiful cars on this game. I just love it. It's a beautiful car to drive, it's a beautiful car to look at, and it's an absolute icon. 3.9 seconds ahead of Willard Gista, who's starting to settle into his life at racing at Black Flag in an awesome way. And just outside that top three, could we see Willard picking up his first podium here in this Gauntlet competition? He's only 4.3 seconds off being able to do that, and G-Mac's in the pits already. He's going to be in there another 9 or 10 times before the end of this race, knowing him. So Willard's in that top three. How long can he hold on in the top three, if at all, of course? There is Stormfly running in 4th position. He had a little bit of a squirrel and is now, to be fair, he went on the hard compound tyres as well. And anyone that's running the hard or the medium, I apologise, it's supposed to be time 7. And I don't know why I didn't change it. It just occurred to me at the very last minute when I did it that I hadn't changed the tyres. But yeah, tough shit. It is what it is, suck it up. Slipstream back up to 5th position. He's on the medium tyres. He's just done a 1:13.8 as the fastest lap there. That's a phenomenally quick lap around here. I think that's even quicker than qualifying. In fact, yes, it is. That is quicker than the qualifying lap was. And he's going faster still. But he's got a lot of work to do. 4.3 seconds still to Stormfly. And of course, he's still got a pit. Old man Jay. I think he's going to come into the pits very shortly. He's on the soft tyres. He only needs to put on fuel. I imagine he'll come through into the pits this time out. He's running in 6th, 7.8 seconds behind Slipstream as Wiggy takes that BMW into pit lane, as they call it in the United States. 10.2 seconds back is GMAC, who's been into the pits. He's going to run now to the end of this race. Has he underfueled a touch? I think he'll be all right. I think he'll be all right. There's Phil. Phil has gone into the pits as well. He'll run to the end of this race. Currently running 2.3 seconds behind the G to the back. Rob, he still needs to pit. He's running in 9th, 12 seconds back from Phil. He's got TJ behind him who already has pit. I think TJ's going to take him on the racetrack long before Rob goes into the pits, and TJ will just slide past him like smoother than a cashmere codpiece. Avalon Shadow, he's been into the pits. He's now on those soft compound tyres in that Ferrari 458 and will move his way through the order as required, I think, especially as the people ahead of him start to pit. He's got plenty of fuel to take him to the end of this race, and now he's on those soft compound tyres. If he can dial in similar laps to that 1:16.0, as he's just done a personal best in Sector 1, of course, he will be there or thereabouts. We've got, what are we, 13 minutes in, so we have literally 7 minutes of this race left, which is going to be about, what are we looking at, 5 laps-ish? Yeah, about 4 or 5 laps till the end of this race. And Fubot leads the way. Now, question is, anyone that hasn't pit at this stage, do they feel they can go to the end? Fubot, 8 seconds clear of Willard. He's going to have to pit at the end of this lap. If he's got enough fuel to make it, it's looking pretty ropey on fuel there at the moment. But I should get into the pits and out, excuse me, relatively quickly. Stormfly, he's been in, he's not been in, he's on the hard compound tyres. Is he going for the long run to run this to the end? I can't see how he can do that. But being slightly, or similar on fuel to Fubot, Fubot's done a really good job in the Audi on fuel. Really good job, actually. He can hang out there for a couple more laps if he so wishes. But in he dives into the pits. That's lap 11. In he comes. Willard will have to absolutely follow him in. He'll come round into the pits. He'll go. There he is. Stormfly, will he pit this lap, or is he going to go around one more time? He is staying out. So he's going to try and build a little bit of a gap before he dives in at the end of lap 12, maybe 13. So Willard in, Fubar in. Wiggy's already picked. He comes through. He will move up into second. GMAC will, or actually won't, because Fubar is out in second. This is potentially going to be a win for Fubar here, because he is only 4.1 seconds behind Stormfly. He's being held up a little bit by Rob at the moment in that Alpha 155, but Rob's been in the pit, so he's got plenty of fuel to go. Fubar just needs to get past him and try and close that gap to Stormfly, because Stormfly's going to go into the pits either now or the end of the next lap, and that should promote Fubar to the lead of this race, and that'll be a fantastic. In fact, that'll be his first Black Flag win. So that'll be a first Black Flag win for Fubar. Now, there's a potential top 3 on the cards for Willard, maybe, or for Phil, or even for Slipstream now, who's trying to make the move, so he's in 7th, trying to make the move on that Alpha 155, but not finding a way through. And at the moment, TJ with the fastest lap, that's a 1:13.4 in that Suzuki Swift. And I'll tell you what, if he hadn't have been so bullied in that first stint, the early few laps, he could be there or thereabouts in the front of this pack at the moment. He'll be absolutely fuming. But how can you be unhappy with that big smile on the front of your car? It's just impossible. Back of the pack, there is Rob. Blue flags flying for him. He's 49 seconds behind Avalon, who is running in 10th place. But yeah, moves over and lets the guys absolutely stream through. There is Avalon. Not getting, I mean, he's doing steady 14.3. 14.0, closing on the back of Old Man J. 2.6 seconds is the gap at the moment. Old Man J his times are starting to ramp down now. 15.3s for him. TJ, of course, fastest man on the racetrack with a 1:13.4. Willard, he's done a 1:15.1, but nowhere near that since he put the medium compound tyres on. And someone should probably let him know there is no specific tyre requirement. You can use any tyres you like. I will remind everybody in the chat that you are not restricted to using 2 compounds. You can use whatever you want, however you want to get the job done. And to be fair, you probably should have stayed on the soft tyres. My bad for that, fellas. Although it looks like a few people have gone for a 2-tyre strategy. Anyway, Phil in 6th place. He is trying to hold off Willard at the moment. How long can he do that for? Because at the moment they're looking pretty similar in terms of pace. Although with Phil on the soft compound tyres, I think young Graham is going to find it very difficult to squeeze past him. There he is. AJ's made his way up into 5th place. Round past Rob again. He is running 7 seconds behind Wiggy in 4th as we move into the last 2.5 minutes of this race. So 2 laps left here at the Big Willow, Streets of Willow, whatever it's freaking called, racetrack. So Wiggy in 4th in the BMW. He's got 3 seconds behind GMAC. That's quite a lot to make up. GMAC's pace is looking pretty strong. Although I wasn't going to be worried about his fuel, but I don't think we need to be. He's tucked in there behind the WRX. At the moment, those 2 4x4s have been doing a really good job in that top 3 and absolutely battling it out. But while they're battling, that gives absolute impetus to Fubar. This guy here is 3.8 seconds clear. A Slipstream goes sub 1:13 with a 1:12.8. Can he close on Wiggy and get that overtake done with there just being a couple of laps remaining here? But Fubar doing a brilliant job, and GMAC finds his way around Stormfly. Has he got the pace to close that 3.7 seconds? The times would suggest that he's doing pretty darn well. Mid 1:13s, he's been doing steady lap after lap after lap. Fubar's been doing a little bit less consistent, but went into the pits much later, of course. So he will, I mean, he's doing all right. He's doing mid 13 last lap. 2.5 seconds is the gap. He's got to hold on, essentially, for the rest of this lap and 1 more lap. That's all he's got to do. He's got to hold on for 1 more lap. 2.4 seconds is the gap. GMAC on a charge. Stormfly couldn't hold off the charge of GMAC. Now back in 3rd. And might be under a bit of pressure this lap from Wiggy, who's closing fast on the back of Stormfly's car. Stormfly's opted to stay on the hard compound tires. I think he's under-fueled when he went in. Or has he just stayed out the whole time? Did he do this without stopping? I'm pretty sure he went in. So he must have gone in for a little splashy splash. Surely he went in for a splashy splash. If he didn't, he's very vulnerable. Very, very vulnerable to the on-rushing Wiggy as they come round to finish their final lap. So anyone not going to make another lap? Slipstream's through. Phil gets through. Willard gets through. Time's not running out yet. TJ's through. Avalon, does he get through? I think he's just missed out. No, he does get through. Old man Jado just misses out. He finishes in 10th place. Rob will clearly... Oh, he's on lap 14, so we know where he's going to finish. So, everybody bar Jay and Rob make it on to lap 16. And G-Mac has got himself ahead of Fubo. He's absolutely on a massive charge. Is G-Mac, and he's put in a 1:13.3. A Slipstream does a 1:11.9. Now, I'm pretty sure the quickest lap in qualifying was like a 1:14 something. And he's just done a 1:11.9. Now that is significant improvement from qualifying. So over 20 minutes and absolutely melting it. But here comes G-Mac. He's taking the win here. He's going to cross the line in the Alpha. Take the win from Fubar Ferrantes. Great podium from them two. Stormfly come home in third. Will he make it? Yes, he will. Slipstream and Wiggy to the line. Wiggy just nicks it back. Slipstream backs out, takes 5th place. Willard, this is a really solid 6th from him. He'll come home 12 seconds back, but 1.7 up from Felipe. TJ in 7th place. Phil comes home in 8th. Started out well. Avalon sending that time flying, absolutely flying in 10th place, I think it was, or 9th place, whatever it was. So there we go. That's race number 1 done and dusted. Let's get that screenshot and get. I want to get that one screenshot first, and then this one, and that just allows me to set the grid for the next race. So there we go. How about that? That was not bad at all. Not bad at all. Right, so we'll give them, what, a 2-minute break? And then I'll roll again. Oh, let's give them 5 minutes and then I'll roll again. It gives me time to... I can update the scores then, can't I? So there we have it. That's race number 1 done. Looking forward to the next two. Next two, of course, are going to be reverse grid. There we go. Right. Gives them 5 minutes to get sorted. No, but good. That was really good racing. Yeah, I know, Patrick. I know. I forgot to do tyres and fuel. I did apologise. Don't fuck up next racing. Yes. All right. Whatever. Let it keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Come on. Keep the abuse coming. Yeah. And then shut up. Right. I'm going to update race number 1. Donkey. I don't think I've got the donkey on this one. We'll have to have something like that.
You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your
wrong
empty
settings.
words.
How about that? Right, so that was race number 1 done. I can't update. I have to update them all in one go because it's sub races here. No, that was awesome. Absolutely awesome. We're going to move on. I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes out next, to be honest. That was something I wasn't expecting at all. Not in the slightest. So hopefully we'll get something pretty decent next time out. Vaping causes brain damage. I know a guy named... Yes. All right, carry on. Thing is, I'm on Pepsi Max. And I'm getting bullied. Keyboard warrior. I'm a keyboard warrior. Absolutely. Spot on. Okay, we need to bring back. What do we need to bring back? We need to bring back these things, don't we? We need that. We need that. We'll leave that up there until I roll it again. Genius curveball, yeah. Genius curveball. Yeah. it was completely unintentional. I've just forgot to set the tyres, but you know it's still pretty cool. Pepsi Min. Yeah, Pepsi Min. Yeah, not Pepsi Max, Pepsi Min. Right. Okay, I'm gonna roll for the next run. Let me get your donut glazed. Let me get your donut glazed. I'm sure that's something filthy. I don't want to know what that is. Okay, anyway, right, I'm going to roll at the next race. Let's see what comes out, and then I can start setting the grid ready for that. Oh my days, this is going to be an absolute crash fest, without question. Without question. I should have done this first so you couldn't see it. There we go. Well, we'll do the theatrics anyway. That's what we've got. It's Broadbean Raceway full course in reverse in the GR1s with a tyre wear rate of +1, a fuel rate of +1. It's going to be at twilight and it's going to be nice sunny weather. How about that for a crazy race? So let's I was about to start qualifying, so I just need to change the room. So we are just a practice and endurance race because we're going reverse grid, of course. And we're going to change the track, and the track will be the Broadbean Raceway. If I can find it. Where's the Broadbean Raceway? I've lost it. I've lost the Broadbean Raceway. Help me out here, fellas. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Right at the top. Full course in reverse. SO1. Time of day, twilight. We're just doing this 1 and 1, isn't it? So this time I haven't cooked it up. Tyre weight is 1. Fuel consumption down to 1. That's correct. That's correct. Everything is now correct. Changing class, of course, to GR1. Let's make sure I haven't left like anything else on. Right, Boom Shanker. Boom Shanker. Right, so I just need everyone to tick in. And then I can set the grid then. I do need to bring up a copy of the last race so I can see what's occurring. Captures. So, Rob will start on pole. Then we'll have Old Man Jake, then Avalon Shadow. That'll be your top 3 that will start. Just waiting for Jay to tick in. He'll be smoking probably. I can add him in a bit. Let's get cracking with setting the grid, shall we, for the time being. How do I do it? I forgot how to do it. Ah, I forgot to do something. Sorry, fellas. Edit event settings set by host. I need to do. It's all correct this time. I wanted to make sure I got it right this time. See, this is the problem. I can't multitask. It's too difficult. It's hard enough like trying to stream and talk at the same time, let alone stream and talk and run a room and do all the other stuff. I basically need like an assistant. I need a glamorous assistant. Yeah, I thought. Do you know what? I think you're absolutely right, Andrew. I think this is going to be a really. Where's everyone gone? Why has everyone left the room? That was a crazy mass disconnection. What's occurring? Does everyone hate it that much that they've left? What happened? Well, I didn't kick anybody out, so it ain't my fault. Everyone is coming back, and then I can redo it. Yeah, talk amongst yourselves while while we get this organised. The racing's pretty good. The broadcast is pretty fucking woeful today, though. To be fair, I think this is going to be an awesome race. GR1s around here, it is going to be so quick. People just have to be so careful. But yeah, I think there's going to be 1 or 2 cars spinning off in all kinds of crazy directions. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Won't it? Of course it will. Just waiting for last year tick in Slipstream TJ Fubar, and well, I think we're missing 1 more to come back in. That would be Fubar's in, G-Max in. Who are we missing? Oh, there we go, TJ. Once he ticks in, I can set the grid. TJ, tick. Come on, man. Tick, tick, tick. Everyone else is getting to practice, TJ. It's not how this works. Come on, tick in. Tick in, tick in, tick in. Tick in, tick in, tick in. Thank you very much. Stick out my bumhole. Right, so we need Rob at the front of the grid. He goes all the way there. Second will be Old Man Jay. He's there, and up he goes into second place behind Rob. Then it is Patrick, who is there. He'll go up to third position. Then who we got? I've got to go back to the previous one, which is that picture there. If I can open the bloody thing. Piss off. I'm trying to rush and it's not working. Let me go faster by doing it correctly. Right, there we go. So, then we've got Phil, who's there. He will slot in behind Avalon. Well, why can't I? Where's he gone? Why have I've lost my... Right, that's bad. I don't know why that disappeared then. Right, so Phil, adjust grid. Talk amongst yourselves, guys. TJ, adjust grid. I think somebody else should host this, and I just keep talking. I think that's the safest way to do this, because this is going horribly, horribly slowly. Slipstream is next. Then Wiggy. Then we've got Stormfly, who's in the right place. Then Fubar. And then G-Mac, Boomshanker. Right. Everyone's ticked in. Everyone's ready to go. I should do this on the keyboard. It would be so much quicker, wouldn't it? Two and one and boom, we're away. We're getting done. Here we go. Let's have it. Yeah, you're absolutely right, mate. I'm a much better commentator than I'm a host. To be fair, I'm all right host if I don't have to do anything else. But I just can't multitask, mate. It's just too complicated. Talking and thinking at the same time. It's so hard. So here we go. Looking forward to this one because this is going to be a bit of a doozy. That's 3 lights, that's 4 lights, that's 5 lights, and we'll look from TJ's perspective as we get away. How quickly do these quick guys swallow? That from Willard, that's an absolutely stonking start. Up straight away into 4th, tucked in behind Phil. TJ makes a move through, and this is looking racy already into the first couple of turns. And a Willard spins, absolutely flies round and round and round and round and round.
You can't park that there, mate.
That was a massive, massive hit. Who's that facing the wrong way now? That's G-Mac facing the wrong way. Oh man, Jay's had a crash as well. They're all over the place at the moment. So these cars they've only got, it's literally an oval racetrack. Was that another one spinning? It's absolute carnage. TJ 1.7 seconds clear of Wiggy. What happened there? Wiggy getting ploughed into the wall. I think these cars are just too fast for this track as he moves down the order. Slipstream up into second. Excuse me. Slipstream up into second. Stormfly makes the move, but he's got a 2-second penalty. I wonder who he melted to get that penalty. So we've got TJ 2.6 seconds in the lead. Mental. Slipstream in second. Clear to go. Rob is up. He's still in third place. He's managed to hold on. Stormfly down in fourth. He's now served his penalty. Just clipping Rob on the way through. These cars are twitching all over the gaff. Avalon in fifth place. He's dropped down a couple of places, but managed to hold on throughout the shenanigans. Wiggy making the move. He's having a little look. Couldn't find a way through that time. And these older cars, they're much quicker, but they are smashing against the walls all over the place. G-Mac running in seventh place. He's had a clip somewhere. Fastest lap so far is with G-Mac with a 21.3. Very, very quick laps here. There is Phil running in eighth place. In the is the Toyota is in? It is indeed. Fubar back in ninth. Old Man Jay in 10th. And Willard, after that massive, massive spin, is down in 11th place. His quickest lap, 24.3. So yes, a vast difference. 22.5 from TJ. Stormfly with a 21.9. He's back up into second. He's ahead of Slipstream. 22.6 from him. Just under a second behind Stormfly at the minute. Closing fast. Wiggy back up into fourth. That's 1.2 seconds. Everyone just wants to get much closer and get into that slipstream, because if you lose the slipstream, you can get dropped for good. But with such a vast difference, and Wiggy with that slipstream just about flies round. Slipstream back underneath him, takes back third place. How long can these two hold on? Can one take precedence? And well, Wiggy does there. He takes third place round the outside, just like the two trailer park girls at TJ's house. The Wiggy up into third now. Slipstream in fourth. Avalon's 3 seconds back. There's G-Mac, massive slingshot past Avalon, up into fifth place. Coming together by the two of them, and then G-Mac back behind Avalon. This is absolute carnage. There is Rob. He's still in seventh place, holding on at the moment. Phil 1.8 seconds behind him, but that is closing pretty darn quickly. And 1.2, 1.1 is well, Rob is still facing in the correct direction, but that gap is closing incredibly fast. Oh, Phil has a little squirrel, does get it back under control, but will that put him into the clutches of Fubar, who's closing on him now? And that's a 23.4 from Fubar. Old Man Jay in 10th place. He's just unlapping himself now, so he's got some time to catch back up. He is in between TJ and Stormfly. Stormfly's got ahead, and he's unlapping himself and trying to find a way to stay in this battle. Wiggy coming around the outside, undercut, overcut, wombling free. It's just going off at the minute. Yeah, insane race this is. Cannot believe that this popped out. And we're still only 5 minutes in. This is on lap 12 already. So yeah, 2.5 seconds clear at the moment is Stormfly. Wiggy now up into second. That's just 1.1 clear of TJ. He's got Old Man Jay tucked in that slipstream behind him. Old Man Jay will hopefully use that to try and close the gap to ninth. We'll have a look at that gap when we get there in a minute. TJ with the fastest lap. That's a one. It's a nothing. It's a 20.9. There's no one involved at all. Yellow flag. Who's that for? Who has crashed? Who is parked in the wrong direction? Nobody knows. But there is Phil, not too far away from that. From TJ, they're in third. There's Slipstream in fourth. He's got Old Man Jay in front of him. He's moved up to ninth. And he's got Phil behind him, who is in 10th. And Slipstream using that ironically Slipstream, to get past Jay and hopefully close that 2.4 seconds on TJ. Excuse me. GMAC in 5th place. He has got Willard there for some Slipstream. He's using Willard for his Sunbeam. He breezes on through. And he's got, now there's another yellow flag. Who's crashed? Who's crashed? Who's crashed? That, I don't know. Can't see who's crashed. Let's get to the back of the pack there. So we've got Willard. He is, if he can close it to within 1 second of Phil, that gives him an opportunity to really have a go. But without, or at least if he can pick some Slipstream up off these quicker guys. And Stormfly, he's had a problem because he's down in 5th place. Just goes to show how quickly this can change. So he's picking up some Slipstream now from Stormfly, those faster cars, which could help him close. And it has helped him close a little bit on Phil. He gets within that Slipstream range. He really can start to make some moves. Phil in 10th place. He's just outside the Slipstream of Fubar, who is tucked right in behind Old Man Jay and Stormfly. And they're both unlapping themselves with Stormfly in a minute. The speed is phenomenal. 160, 170 miles an hour these cars are going. Old Man Jay in 12 seconds is the gap to Rob. That's what he needs to make up. So he's on lap 17 and Stormfly's on lap 18. That's the difference. It's only a 20-second lap. So absolutely flying they are. Flying, I tell you. So 12 seconds is his gap to Rob. That's what he needs to make up if he wants to move up the order. Old Man Jay. 8.9 seconds. 9 seconds. Rob is behind Avalon as he finds that is a Wiggy coming round to lap him in the lead of this race. Avalon side by side with Phil. One in 6th, the other in 10th. 3.94 seconds up the road is Stormfly in 5th, who started out very well and has found himself dropping down that order. Now this should be an issue for either tyres or fuel. We should be able to run to the end without a problem here in the slightest. Half second is the gap to GMAC. That's what Stormfly's trying to close at the moment. And you can see there, 3rd, 4th and 5th running really close together. If we go on board with Stormfly, you can see GMAC just up ahead. And just up ahead of him is Slipstream. The gap between Slipstream and TJ now, 1.9 seconds. So, do these guys use a little bit of bump drafting and some Slipstream between the three of them to move up the order? Or do they just fight it out? It looks like they're just happy to bat it out, and that's GMAC melted into the wall. Slipstream sliding on through, and Stormfly holds back in 5th place after punting GMAC into that wall. So no change. Stormfly, GMAC, Slipstream. That's your 3rd, 4th and 5th place battle. Stormfly breezing through, straight through the pair of them. GMAC clipping the back of Slipstream. Does he come through the middle? This is awesome racing. Slipstream back through the middle, back up into 3rd. Stormfly 4th, GMAC down into 5th place now. This is very much like the Tour de France when they use each other to kind of power around the course. Stormfly back into 3rd. It's just constant. The thing is while they're battling, TJ out 5.9 seconds behind Wiggy, and he's side by side with his father-in-law. If I was his father-in-law, I would have punted him straight into the wall. But I'm not. There's Wiggy. Battling out with Willard. Oh, very, very close. Willard up to 10th place now. Wiggy 6.8 seconds clear at the front of the pack. There is TJ running in 2nd. Stormfly can't close at 2.1 seconds. And he has pulled out a little bit from Slipstream and GMAC now. That battle just settling down as we reach the halfway point of this competition, or this particular race. There is GMAC running in 4th. Him and Slipstream still very close together at 7 tenths. The distance between them two. Slipstream at the back of that battle. And problem with Stormfly, and already back in the battle they come. GMAC back into 3rd. Slipstream back up into 4th. And Stormfly again loses out back into 5th. So clearly parts of this track are very, very tricky when you're going at such high speed. And he's got a bit of damage there, which is going to cost him Well, it's costing him loads of time because he's already 3.5 seconds back and possibly dropping into the clutches of the Avalon Shadow. He's in a really, really unique position. He's nearly 14 seconds clear of anybody else. There is literally nobody else on the racetrack near him. In terms of, I mean, Rob is the closest, that's 14 seconds back. But Avalon's 4 seconds back from Stormfly, who started to open up that gap again. What about Jay? Can Jay close? That's 16 seconds he needs to close on Rob. But he's got Willard. Willard coming to make that move. Willard up the inside, up into 8th, clips the wall. Jay regains 8th place. These two battling out a minute for 8th and 9th. And do these guys work together to try and move up the road at all? Doesn't look like it. It looks like it's every man for himself. They would rather finish 8th and 9th and 6th and 7th just for the sake of having their own little battles. Excuse me. So there's that battle there, and it's 7th and 8th at the moment. Old Man Jay drops back down to 9th and can't find a way around Willard at the moment, but is nice and close to the back of him. Fubar just 1.3 seconds off the back of that. Can he get involved, baby? Just needs a little bit of speed as it's starting to get a little bit darker. Twilight, of course, which means that it will be getting dark throughout this race. And Old Man Jay now drops down to 10th place. If Fubar makes that move on him, he is up to 8th place. So he's slingshot his way around both Willard and Old Man Jay up into 8th. 18 seconds is his target ahead. Now, can he use GMAC? How long can he use GMAC as a kind of slingshot card to kind of pull him along and help him up the road, help him close that gap to Rob in 7th? Of course, Rob's done all right, to be fair. He's been pretty racy. Hasn't clipped the wall too much. He's been keeping the car nice and on the track. So, TJ dropping down the order. What happened to him? So it was GMAC, Slipstream, Stormfly in 3rd, 4th and 5th. Now Wiggy, 8 seconds clear. As we're into the 13th minute of the race. Wiggy, 8 seconds clear. GMAC is 2 seconds clear, 2.3 clear of AJ Slipstream right now. But, you know, we've seen how quickly this can change. He's really opening it up at the moment. Slipstream is pulling along Fubar. He's pulling along Stormfly, who's just making that move on Fubar and trying to get a bit closer. And we've got Willard in there, who's in 8th place. There's so many different people in so many different positions, all on the same part of the racetrack together. It's really, really complicated set of affairs. Because you're picking up Slipstream from a whole manner of different cars. But there is, talking to Slipstream, there he is, and Stormfly using it to get out back into 3rd. But again, AJ manages to hold on to 3rd position. But great battle between these two. They're absolutely on the money, cracking this out. And a great, solid racing. Wiggy at the moment just focused on opening up that gap. And just being solid. I mean, look at the consistency Wiggy's been chucking in there. Look, 21.9, 22.2, so it's low 22s, high 21s, and could sit on a consistent basis. GMAC's been very consistent as well. Look at that, 22.1 to low to mid 22s consistently. Stormfly again, low to mid 22s. He's had sort of a high 21 in there, but he's also had some spins as well, which is always going to be a problem. Slipstream trying to make that move now. Stormfly, there he is on Fusion Phil now, as a way to keep the momentum, keep Slipstream at bay. 5.6 seconds back to TJ, who's dropped down that order and just about to put in the fastest lap. 20.8 was his fastest lap previously. Did he clip the wall there coming past Fubar? Yellow flag, that's Stormfly. He's facing in the wrong direction. TJ back up into 4th. How many times in this race have we seen Aaron facing in the wrong direction? It's been too many to count for me, but he still keeps busting his way back into that top 3. It is phenomenal driving, to be fair. But this is the man to watch, is TJ, as he breezes past Phil, who's running now in 11th position. So Avalon now up to 5th. He's ahead of Stormfly, he's ahead of Rob. And Stormfly, that was a big loss for him because he's 9 seconds back now from Avalon. The only car he's got to help him along is just up ahead, and that is the car of... I'll tell you in a second, do that and it'll tell me. Will it not? It will not. Can't even see who it is that's so far ahead. There's Rob in 7th place. 15 seconds ahead of Willard. Or is he? Willard under some pressure from TJ. TJ comes through. He's in 4th. Willard in 8th. 4.8 seconds ahead of Fumar Philandis, who is tucked in behind Phil, who's having a torrid time with a 2-second penalty. They're back in 11th place. 2 seconds to old man Jay, who's running in 10th, and he's on lap 40. Phil is 2-second penalty on lap 39, and old man Jay actually coming up to catch him. So Phil not in the best of shape here. And with that penalty to serve, it's just... And the penalty here is absolutely brutal. In these cars, on this track, any penalty is absolutely brutal. Just murderous. So the gap come down a little bit. G-Max closed that gap down to 7.3 seconds. There he is running in 2nd place. He's got a nice decent gap over the 3rd place man. Stallfly coming in behind G-Mac again, but this time it's not for track position. Oh, there's a big crash there. Stallfly is facing the wrong way again. He's had a crash. Who did he hit this time? Someone else is damaged somewhere. Let's have a little look. Well, there's some damage there on Rob. So I think those two had it coming together this time. So Stallfly again having an accident. So it doesn't matter how quick he's going. He just can't keep the momentum. Losing so much time. He lost 14 seconds on lap 38. He's lost another 11 seconds on the last lap, and he's going to lose significantly more this time as well. So Wiggy back out to 8.1 seconds. We're in the last 3 minutes of this race, and 46 laps they've done already. Such frenetic, fast pace. And G-Max has got a much better gap now over TJ. It is 11.1 seconds, which is quite a lot. I mean, to be fair, we've seen how quickly you can lose 11 seconds on this track. In a lap, you can lose it just like that. But doing really well at the moment. TJ's 9/10 of a second and a slipstream. Can AJ get himself back into that top 3? He's just, again, TJ's just pulling away. It shows the difference in class of these GR1 cars. Is that the older ones clearly much quicker. They're not that great around corners, but in a straight line, absolutely popping rockets. And I think that's making it a little bit easier for those in those faster, older Le Mans type cars. Give way to faster cars. Well, of course, he is being lapped now by Wiggy. Stormfly in 6th. He's 1 lap back, just behind Slipstream, trying to find a way to unlap himself. There's Avalon in 5th. He's not too far off the back of Slipstream, and there's still plenty of time to go. 2.3 seconds, that's not insurmountable. 20 seconds is the gap back to Stormfly. It's practically a lap now, isn't it? Yeah, it's a lap back to Stormfly, who is being lapped. Clear to go 15 seconds back. And he's giving up 13 seconds to Willard, who's up into 8th position. 4.5 to Fumar, who is 8 seconds clear of old man Jay, and he is a lap ahead. Pretty much a lap and a half ahead of Phil, who just can't get this car on. Was he in the full fire? The 919, I think he's in that 919. It seems to be the 919 is not the car for here. It's just not got the speed of these older, I suppose wiser cars. But at the moment, the man to beat is Wiggy, absolutely dominating him. Lap 52 here at High Speed Ring, Broadbean Raceway in reverse. G-Mac is 9 seconds back now, but he's got a bit of slipstream there from Willard, which will help him close the gap a tad. Fastest lap is still with TJ with a 20.8. That must have been some phenomenal driving for that. He's currently running in 3rd. Slipstream not close enough still. 2.8 seconds is the 2.9 seconds is the gap. And we're on the final lap of the race. GMAC comes home in second. 8th is Willard. TJ will come home in third. Round the outside of his father-in-law. Gives him a little love tap on the way through. Says, thank you very much, TJ in third. Slipstream will come home in 4th place as Wiggy comes home in 1st. Avalon in 5th. Stormfly 6th. Good to go. Robin 7th. 8th is Willard. 9th is Fubar. 10th is someone else, Old Man Jay. And 11th is Phil. That was freaking crazy. Absolutely mental. Mental. I can't think of any other word to describe that. Yeah, that was pretty darn nuts. So let's screenshot these. Yeah, that R92 just so quick. You can see, look, the best performing cars were the older cars, of course. The 92, 89, 91. Slipstream and Avalon didn't do too badly in those 919s, but couldn't really keep up with those 3 out front. Those 3 classic motor cars out front. The McLaren VGT performed okay for Fubar, not wonderfully though. That GR010 was a piece of rubbish, not quick at all. Old Man J in the 919. But yeah, I mean, Stormfly was in the R92 as well, but just kept putting it into a wall. And that isn't the way you want to do it. So essentially, everybody finished a lap, at least 1 lap behind Wiggy there. That was, yeah, phenomenal finish. Never again. That was horrible in VR. Yeah, I bet it was. Oh, well, yeah, game's the breaks. That's what happens when it's random. Oh, yeah, that was carnage. But, yeah, great fun, though. Great fun for me, anyway. Yeah, that was a bit insane. But, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, so 5 minutes. Yeah, we'll have a 5-minute break and then we'll roll at the next track. Back shortly. I've been ordered to turn the heating off because I don't know why. I'll sort it out. I have returned. I have returned. Right, I'm going to roll the next one and then get it all set up. So, are we all ready for the final roll of the evening? Who's ready for this? Right, let's do this thing. I'm going to click it right now. Not bad. There we go. That's where we're looking. That's not bad at all. That's a pretty good race to finish with. Quite high on the tyres and fuel, but I think that's a pretty decent race to finish up with, don't you? GR3 at Autodrome Lego Maggiore, East End. They say it, actually, that's how the Italians say it. Yeah. I've just got a message from Willard, and he's absolutely bang on correct. The first race was in someone's back garden. The second race was mental. Now we've got now we've got a proper race though. So I'll get the lobby set up for that. Yeah, looking forward to this one. Actually, is a pretty darn good race. So edit event settings. So we need to go to Lego Maggiore. Isn't the daily race this week at Lego Maggiore in the GR3? Could be good practice for that then, won't it? Of course I can find there it is, Lego Maggiore, and it's East End. I think it's East End reverse on the dailies, though, to be fair. East End, 20 minutes. Weather is S10, which I think is sunny with some clouds. Misty and sunny with lots of clouds. Time of day is sunset. Variable time speed, I'll leave that at ×1. Set by host, of course. All that's the same. This will change to GR3. I think that's pretty reasonable. And tyres and fuel we need to set, which are tyre wear is ×7, and fuel is ×8. I've actually done it right this time. There we go. Change event settings. They'll tick in when they're ready. I'll get the grid set. Yeah, this is actually a proper race. Yeah, the first one was like it was in someone's back garden. The second one was just absolute oval racing carnage, and yeah, this one is a little more serene, actual racing around an actual racing track. There we go. Right, so of course got to reset the grid, and reverse from previous race, of course, again. So out in front will be, I think, yeah, Phil, I think will be out in front this time. Need to update my screenshots so I've got the correct ones, of course. So it will be Phil from Jay from Fubar. They will lead out the race this time round. Then it will be, we'll go back to that, then it will be Willard from Rob, then Aaron, Patrick, AJ, TJ, Gary and Wiggy at the very, very back of the pack. Once it all ticks in, I will set the grid and we can get cracking with this final race. Now, that was about, do you know what? I thought the first race was pretty awesome, to be fair. Second race was carnage. But actually the first race I think would have been probably better had I remembered to do time fuel properly. But as Aussie Rooster, the amazing Andrew Oster says, I'm a much better commentator than I am a host. And yes, of course I am. Right, so that's everyone ticked in. I can now set the starting grid. So it will be on the front of the grid will be Philip. Where is he? There is Phil, adjust grid. He goes to the front of the grid. Old man Jay will be just behind him. How long can these guys hold on? Because, I mean, this is a proper racetrack, so, you know, it's about getting your braking points right and all that kind of thing here. Not so much just melting it around and smashing it off walls on your way through. Then, of course, after that, we've got, there'll be Willard in 4th place. He might be able to hold on. Yeah, so Willard. And then we've got Rob. He's in the right place already. Then we've got Stormfly, who ended up finishing further down than you would expect. He's in 6th place. Then we've got Avalon, who's in the correct place. Then Slipstream. then TJ, then Wiggy, then GMAC in that order. Countdown to 4. Countdown to 3. And then 2. And then 1. And then we are away. I'm looking forward to this one. I think the first one's probably going to be my favourite one. But we'll see. This could turn out to be an absolute doozy of a race. Pepsi Open. I think I'm going to need this. That's refreshing. Pepsi Cola. Right, so how long can these guys hold on out front? A little bit misty as well. Let's have a look from Stormfly's perspective. Can he get a good start? It's a great shot there. That's 5 lights. They will go out, and away we go for the last time here in this round of Gauntlet. And Stormfly doesn't get away as quickly as I thought he might. Car choices. There's going to be some Porsche 911s out there, without question. Out in front, there's Phil. He's making a mistake, is Phil. A big mistake. Is that his VR playing up? So Fubar in the lead of this race. He's gone for the VW Beetle. Old man Jay holds on in second. He's in the Porsche 911. Of course, that's ready for the Porsche Cup. That's the Porsche Cup livery right there. We'll have a look at that again in a minute. Willard in third. He's gone for the WRX. As a good solid choice for a GR3 car. And Rob trying to make the move up the inside. He does make that move. That's a good overtake from Rob in the Lancer. So, yeah, I thought we were going to wait till Thursday for that, but clearly not. But he does pick up a penalty for that nudge, so he will slow down very shortly. Slipstream moving up. He is in, that's the 4C. He moves up into third. Who's that tanking? That's clear to go. He's tanking. He's in the wall. He's going to lose significant time. Willard loses some time as well. Did they have it coming together? It looks like they may well have done. Willard back through. He's duking out of Wiggy, who's gone for the Ferrari 458. Interesting choice, my friend. Very interesting choice. Right, so Phil out the back of the pack. He clearly had some sort of issue into turn 1 and couldn't seem to get the car in the right direction. Now, was that an issue with VR, or I don't know what the problem was there? But he's 8.3 seconds back. Should close that gap there. There is Rob clear to go in the Lancer. He's dropped right down the order, 6.1 seconds behind Willard. It looks like those two are coming together. 1.7 seconds behind Wiggy the 458, who just loses the back end. Willard just going to come through, and TJ, who was going slow, and into the back of him as well. So yeah, a bit more carnage going on now. Loving it, loving the carnage, loving the carnage. Fubar in 6th place. Stormfly is running in 5th. He's just 8 tenths up the road. This is a very, very quick circuit. Good for cars, this circuit, actually. Avalon Shadow, he's in 4th place. He's using that beautiful livery as well, that 911. You've got to love that livery. Moving up into 3rd is Old Man Jay, dropping down. He's hit the wall. Can he get himself back right again? He drops down to 6th place. Wiggy is now only 1.4 seconds back from him. But GMAC leading the charge. Again in that Porsche 911. Let's have a look at this beautiful livery, because this is the livery we're using for the upcoming Wheelspin Racing Porsche Cup, and you know, anything else that requires a Porsche 911 essentially. Really, really cool looking livery on that. That's the livery we'll be using for that. GMAC running in 1st place. There's another one. That is Avalon running in 2nd. I should have known it would be a 911 race as soon as GR3 comes out. Slipstream, he's gone for the 4C, which is an interesting choice, because we've been racing, I suppose, he's figuring we've been racing the 911s all day and practicing all day yesterday, doing their qualifying times for that WSR Porsche Cup competition. So yeah, picking another car. So that's your top 3, kind of pulling away at the moment. 4.2 seconds from Stormfly, who's also gone for the 911 but opted for a different livery. He is just over a second clear of Fubar in that VW Beetle, that Motul VW Beetle. 2.3 seconds to Old Man Jay, running in that Porsche, of course. Another one in that Porsche. He is 2.8 seconds clear of the 458, containing the Flying Welshman Wiggy. Good evening, Bandit. How are you, my friend? 1.6 seconds back to Willard in the WRX. He is 8 seconds clear of Phil, who's also in the RX, that WRX. 4.5 seconds back to TJ. He's in, that's the McLaren, no it's not, that's the Ford GT. Yeah, a bit of a strange choice. That is, you pick that for oval racing, surely. 7.5 seconds to Rob in the Lancer. And we'll see the WRX and the Lancer again feature on Thursday in the, I think it's the penultimate round of Lancer versus Evo. I think it's either the penultimate or it is the final round in that competition. Just an update, there's a couple of results still to be updated from last week, including the GR3. I still got to do the upload video for last week's rivals. I will get. I have got it. I just haven't had time to do it. Now I've dedicated Sundays to doing what I want to do instead of anything in terms of admin and shit. But it will get done. So Willard jumps in the pits. He's gone in nice and early, 6 minutes in. But the fuel is low. GMAC will definitely be in. Excuse me. So Avalon leads the way. He's looked after that fuel really well in that 911. And puts in the fastest lap of the race with 43.1 slipstream. They're really good, Bandit. The first race was at the streets of Willow Springs, which was quite interesting. I did cock up that, although was that a little nudge into the back of somebody there? Who was that? It was nudged into facing the wrong direction. Oh, that's Rob facing the wrong direction. Where is he going? He is reversing. Is he trying to get back? He's trying to get back to the pits, is he not? He is trying to get to the pits. That's brilliant from him. He knew he wasn't going to make it round. Yeah, sorry about it. Yeah, so second race was at was GR1s at Broadbury Raceway in reverse, and it was absolute carnage. I'm not even joking. It was just a crash fest. But no, it's been cool. For the first race would have been even better. I hadn't cocked up the settings. It was supposed to be times 7 and times 7, and I left it on 1 and 1 by accident. But no, it's still a good race though. Still a good race. But here we are, the final race. This is the first proper racetrack really. Lego Maggiore East End, correct way round in the GR3s. Avalon leads the way by 4.8 seconds. Really good job looking after the fuel. He'll come in at the end of this lap though and put some fresh fuel on board and probably some fresh tyres. It's quite high wear. Here the settings for this particular race are times 7 on the tyres and times 8 on the fuel. And we've got some misty, cloudy weather, although it is dry and sunny. Strangely though, we haven't had any wet races yet. This will be the 6th race in this, or 6th excuse me, roll in this series, but we're yet to have any wet weather. Odds are we've got to have one soon, right? We've got to have a wet race soon. Avalon stays out for one more lap. How much time does that cost him? He's doing steady 43s. It's not really costing that much time at all, although Slipstream is a lap behind, essentially. So, Fubar running in second. He's also been in the... Has he been in the pits? Is he really looking after that fuel really... He must be looking after that fuel really well. Because it doesn't look like he's been in yet. I know he has been in. He was in on lap 9, but he only put a little splash. Little splashy splash. So Patrick finally into the pits, 33 seconds clear. Fubar should take the lead of this race. Slipstream will certainly close that gap quite significantly. Currently 45 seconds for the limit. He's gone for the medium tyres and gone for a nice long run in this second stint. Is it possible to go to the end from here? I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. You know, I don't think any of these races are anything more than one stop. I think even if a race came out at times 10 and times 10. Unless it was something like Le Mans, I can't imagine it would be more than a one stop, surely. So, Fubar is in the lead of this race. He's going to have to stop again for some more fuel, though, being that it is a 20-minute race. Did he make a mistake with the fuel, or has he got a game plan that he hasn't told anyone about? Potentially. He's got a 10-second lead as he puts in that's a purple sector there for Fubar. So Avalon in second, but Slipstream comes and makes that move. Slipstream up into second. Avalon has moved down into third place, but he's got less fuel on board. And well, look, we know he can save that fuel there. Not a problem at all. That will last him perfectly to the end of this race without a problem. He's on a couple of lap fresher tyres. Maybe that might come into the fore later. And he is, of course, in his favoured Porsche 911. GMAC is running in fourth place, also in that Porsche 911. His fastest lap is only a couple of tenths shy of that of Avalon, 43.3 for him. He is 1.9 behind Avalon at the moment, 4.4 clear of Stormfly. That's Wiggy in 10th place, being lapped by GMAC. It's been two really short courses today. So Fubar is into the pits for his final pit stop. So Stormfly in 5th place is 3.1 seconds back from GMAC, running in the Porsche 911. Jay, of course, also in that 911. He's 8.9 back in 6th position. Slipstream goes through into the lead. Avalon into second. GMAC into third. Where does Fubar come out? Does he come out ahead of Jay? He's behind Stormfly. So top four are Slipstream, Avalon, GMAC, and Stormfly. TJ is in 7th position. He is 2 seconds clear of Willard. Old Man Jay does get through. Fubar still just coming out of the pits now. So pit here is almost as long as an actual lap. And that's a 3-second penalty, which is absolutely brutal here. Brutal 3-second penalty. But if you look at the pit lane here, I'll show you how long it is. We'll go on board with Fubar. So, you come around this right-hander, head down this hill, and this is where you go into the pits. You peel off to the right-hand side when you serve the penalty. That's where you go into the pits here on this particular connotation of the track. And then you've got to negotiate excuse me, all of this section, all the way up behind that Maggiore sign, and that's the pits there on your right hand side. And then of course to get out you come all the way around this corner here and pop out here, just there. That's where you pop out straight into this really slow right hander. So it's essentially that's half the lap for the pits, which is why it costs so much time when you go in. So there's your race leader in the Alfa Romeo 4C. That's Slipstream leading the way, 6.3 seconds. He leads by over GMAC. And doesn't anymore. He leads over Stormfly, who's made his way up into second. Dives past GMAC to take second in that 911. Can GMAC stick with it? So in a minute, it's 911, 911, 911. So big an emergency, they've had to dial it 3 times. But there he is, the Stormfly, GMAC, Avalon, 3 Porsche 911s, and this is a battle. This is not a battle of machine here, because the machines are absolutely identical. This is a battle of the men, identical machinery. 1, 2, 3 they are, or 2, 3, 4 to be fair. Gap to Slipstream is 6 seconds. Avalon still has that fastest lap, of course, with a 43.199. Stormfly not too far behind with a 43.250. GMAX, he's done less than that. I think he's done a 43.3 was his quickest. But he's on those mediums now, trying to make it to the end. But we all know that GMAC likes to scrub off his tyres. So it's a Stormfly, it's a Slipstream from Stormfly, Avalon from GMAC, then 10 seconds back to Old Man Jay. He's getting a good performance out of that. That's another Porsche then. So we've got Porsche in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. And then we've got the Volkswagen in 6th. So Italian car leads the way. Then he is being hunted down by enough Germans, 6 Germans, as Old Man Jay into the pits. And here comes American muscle. Well, the car's American. There's no muscle driving it though. Just a love muscle. This is one tiny little limp. No, I'm joking. I'm not sure this was the right car choice for here, but doing all right. Running in 6th, 4.5 seconds behind Fubar. Ahead now of Old Man Jay, who's been in the pits. Does TJ need to pit again? That's the only problem. I think he may well do, which could cost him dearly. Very, very dearly. Phil running in 7th place. He's got Willard just 7/10 back. They're both running in the WRX. Very, very close racing between these two in that WRX. And behind them is where Old Man Jay pops out in his 911. Can he get past these two battling, dueling Subarus and find his way further up the order? Well, he's certainly making that move. He's looking to make the move on Willard. Doesn't get greatest of lines. What about exit? Is the exit better? Certainly looked to be a bit quicker out of that corner than Willard did. But can he make the move into this left-hander? If he maintains that line, he will have the inside line into the big hairpin. Just tucked in behind, though, can't make the move there. Into the hairpin we go. It is Phil, WRX, Willard, WRX, Old Man Jay, Porsche 911. And that's how it stays coming out of that nice big hairpin turn. We're at Lego Maggiore East End. This is race number 3 of Gauntlet. Race number 1 took us to Willow, the streets of Big Willow, whatever it's called. Where we essentially raced in a massive back garden, a massive deserty back garden. And that was a really, really cool race, although I did cock up the tyre and fuel settings. Then we asked the randomizer to randomise something else new, as Old Man Jay making that move and Willard up into 7th place. And what did it do? It gave us GR1 cars, and it took us in those GR1 cars to the Broadbean Raceway in reverse. That was an absolute crash fest. What a nightmare that was. I should have put it on heavy damage. That would have made it a bit fun, wouldn't it? And so then we got out of that. We got done and dusted. Wiggy with another win there. And then we moved on, and here we are, and it's all changed again. And this shows the beauty, actually. This really demonstrates the beauty of, for me, of Gauntlet. Is that in the last race, Wiggy was 8 seconds clear. Now, in the Ferrari 458, different track, different car, different settings, he's back in 10th place. And I love the fact that you can have people all over the racetrack in different positions. Avalon didn't do well in race number 1. Now he's in the top 3. Stormfly didn't have a great last race. Finished 6th or 7th. He's now in the top 2. Phil had a terrible race last time out. He's now in the top 6. He might need to pit again, though, which could be a little bit of an issue. Can Fubar make it to the end in that VW? It looks like he might just have enough fuel. I think the tyres might be screaming for help towards the end, though. Let's have a look at Slipstream. How's he doing? He's definitely running to the end. He's on those medium tyres. Should have enough fuel. That was Stormfly going very, very sideways, and but does maintain second because Avalon in the pits for another stop. Surprisingly, Avalon doesn't fuel to the end of this race and take this right to the end with his fuel and tyre saving ability. And there's a massive punt from TJ into the back of Stormfly from 9th position. That was an absolute murderous move. That was assault and battery and murder and probably a little bit of sexual touching as well. That was awful. Absolutely awful. But Stormfly's still in second. I don't know how, but he's still in second. But with some damage to the back. But I think he's going to have to stop again as well. GMAC in 3rd position. He's got Fubar for company. GMAC, his tyres are shot. It looks like his fuel might be okay, but his tyres are definitely shot. I haven't showed you any tyres or fuel, have I? Let's put it out there. All new tyres and fuel. So yeah, look at these tyres are shot. Fubar just breezes past him into second. Now, if GMAC is brave, he'll stay out. He's got enough fuel. He hasn't got enough tyres, but he's certainly got enough full fuel. Fubar, I think it's battle of the bravery. Look, Slipstream is in a great position. I think it's going to be very difficult for him not to win the race from this position. He's 16 points clear in that Alpha 4C. He's got the tyres and the fuel to take him to the end. Fubar, ropey. Ropey on fuel, ropey on tyres. GMAC, probably okay on fuel, but ropey as hell on tyres. Already going to be giving up loads and loads of grip on that front left. Stormfly's gone in. He's gone for a blast. And I think that's the right idea, because if Fubar and GMAC have to pit, he nabs second. If they don't pit but they stay out, he certainly can close that gap. And there's certainly a risk of them spinning or causing problems to themselves or being really, really slow in these last few laps. We've got 1 minute remaining. Willard, this could be a good finish for him. He's up to 5th place. He is 13 seconds back from Stormfly. Should be able to make it to the end. Wiggy is unlapping himself, but he's 4.8 seconds ahead of TJ. The only hope is that TJ doesn't come up behind him and try some murderous WWE style moves. And that is a yellow flag up ahead for who? Who's in the wrong direction? It's not Slipstream, it's not Rob. Rob stays out, he's going to run to the end of this race. He is a couple of a lap back. Wiggy running in 10th as Willard comes through in 5th. There's Avalon in 9th. He had to go back in the pits. He's put loads of tyres and fuel on, but he didn't need to put that much on, and literally only 15 seconds of this race. Strange decision that. Wiggy in 9th place. Oh man, Jay, that's sideways. You can't park that there, son. You cannot park that.
You can't park that there, mate.
So yeah, he's facing the wrong direction. He's in 8th place now, 21 seconds behind, 22 seconds behind Phil. Slipstream wins this race though, comfortably, 18 seconds from GMAC. Willer comes home in 5th, TJ in 6th, Phil will come home in 7th, which is a decent finish considering his last outing. So actually didn't work out too bad in the end. GMAC, how he held on for 2nd, I do not know. Stormfly does get 3rd, does manage to catch Fubar. Fubar nursing it home. He's going to make it. He's out of fuel, but he is going to make 4th place, whatever happens. So, yeah, just trundling home. He did what he needed to do. He got across the line. And now he's going to trundle home in 4th place. Old Man J comes through in 8th. Here comes Fubar. 4th place for him. Willard in 5th. TJ in 6th. Phil in 7th. Old Man J in 8th. Wiggy in 9th. Avalon in 10th. And Rob in 11th. How about that? All finished. That was, that was interesting, to say the least. Very interesting. But I enjoyed that. Very much so enjoyed that. So there we go. We're done for another week of the randomness of Gauntlet. And we'll be back next Monday for more of the same. More GT7 action here on Wednesday with the Group 3 Championship, which is coming towards the tail end. But we are back tomorrow with some F1 action with late night racing. We might also have an announcement on the tracks and the drivers for Smoking Pirellis for both Tuesday and Thursday. But all that's left to say is thank you very much for joining me. I've been Urban Pirate. This has been Black Flag Racing TV with the Gauntlet, the craziness of the Gauntlet, which is thrown up some great results today. Catch you tomorrow. Laters.